Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Money Matters. I am your host, Hung Lu, and we are in summer season, which is one of the things that I love about being in Canada is the camping and the hiking and just being out in nature. So welcome to another episode. I am your host, Hung Lu. I am with Cash Property, and today we're going to get into a super awesome calculation that is so many conversations are around this, around Hong, how can I retire? All I've got is 50,000. All I've got is 30,000. Doesn't matter. Okay. I'm going to show you today how you can retire with 50,000. Okay. Now, before I do that, let's get into a couple of good announcements. So the first thing is I am giving away a couple of these fantastic prints. Okay. So these are hand drawn or computer drawn super fantastic artist that I know. And so I am actually giving away some of these postcards that she has created. It's from Van B, Bees. Okay. And so this is samples. I'm just going to pop them up here. Can you imagine somebody drawing this? Oh, this is absolutely fantastic. So I am giving away these beautiful cards. And if you would like one of these cards, all you have to do is put it in the chat that you want one of these cards, and I will reach out to you and get these out to you. My all-time favorite, but okay, so some of these are super awesome. So this one is one of the ones that I love. She did a series on Father's Day cards. And so this is one of those prints along with, say, this one here. Okay. But my all-time favorite one is this one. Let that go. Okay, hands down. This is one of my favorite ones. Okay, so if you want these postcards, some of these are postcards, some of them's got like games on the back of them. Just put in the chat that you want these free of charge. I will pay to get them shipped out to you anywhere in Canada or the US. Okay, just DM me, say that you want it. I will reach out and get these to you free of charge. Okay, so that is one thing. The other thing is our monthly mastermind is coming up. So on the third Friday of every single month, we host a monthly mastermind. And of course, we do focus on real estate. So real estate is the main topic that we talk about, but it is a supportive group where we help each other through our challenges. So our next one is happening on the third Friday, July 18th. So even though I'm on a reduced schedule, I show up to these and I support all of our individuals that come. And so yeah, definitely come and enjoy, move ahead with your real estate journey and your financial freedom. Okay, so let's jump right into the next calculation here. And, as I'm bringing this up, I just want to also thank you for putting in the time and effort to watch these videos. Because here's the thing, the more financial literacy that you can get, the more understanding around how money works for you, there's so much benefits that you're also giving to your family and helping the world out. Okay. You're making the world a better place by putting in the time to learn all this. And so I want to say thank you for doing that. Okay. So let's get into the calculation here. So this is how anybody, regardless of age, um, age or financial situation right now, is that you can actually retire at some point. Okay. And so we're going to run through the numbers here. I'm going to start off with 50,000. I'm going to assume that you're 30 years old. Okay. Now we're going to play with the numbers a little bit once I show you how this works. And then if you want this spreadsheet, just DM me and I will send you this spreadsheet. It's really easy to build out. So I will make this a little bit bigger and then walk you through it. Okay, so I've put in the gray cells are the cells that you would just change. Okay, so I'm just going to assume it's 2025 this year. You're 30 years old. You've got 50,000 saved up, which is pretty amazing if you're 30 years old with 50,000. So like I said, we will adjust this. Okay, and you're going to invest this 50,000 into a product, some investment vehicle, and we'll talk about some of those options. And it's making you 5%. Okay, so we'll adjust that percentage as well. So what this is, okay, so let me just add in a couple of things here so that you can follow along. Okay, so this is the amount and the rate. Okay, and so then this is your interest, and then this is your total, and then this is additional money. So the additional money is how much additional savings you can have during the course of the year that you're going to add into this account. Okay, so first year, you're going to put this 50,000 of yours into a 5% rate of return investment vehicle. You're going to make $2,500. So the simple math on that is you just take your 50,000 and your times your 5%, 2,500. Simple math there. The total that you're going to get from that at the end of the year is 52,500. Okay. Now let's just say for this first year, because you've already saved your 50,000, you're not going to add any additional money in. So at the end of that year, you actually have 52,500. Now here's the first trick is that you have to leave everything in and you have to let it compound. Okay, if you pull that interest money out and you spend it, this concept is not going to work. Okay, so this is one strategy to make sure that regardless of where you are, you can retire with the money that you can save. Okay, so in the second year, 2026, next year, you're 1 year older, you invest that entire amount into your investment vehicle, you're leaving it in there, it's getting 5% again. Okay, now look at this. The interest that you make this year has gone up a little bit. Okay, so to 2006.25. Okay, so it's the same math, the same calculation. You just take your starting amount times your 5%. Okay, so now your total amount there is 55,125. Now, let's just say during that course of the year, you can save $1,000, and that's how much you have to put in. And you are going to target $1,000 every month. Sorry, every year. Okay, this is per year. So I'm going to just go additional per year. Okay. For some people, doing $1,000 a year is super easy. For some people, it's going to be a challenge. Okay, regardless of the situation, we're just running some simple math here of $1,000. Okay, so now at the end of that year, you're going to have 56,125, and you're just going to let this compound year over year over year. Okay, and every single year, you're going to put in that extra $1,000. So what does that look like? Okay. When you are 65, we're going to go right down to the year 65, your age 65. Okay, so that is, let's see here. I'm going to put this in peach. Okay, so look at this. When you get to 65, you're going to have $3,709,000 in this account, which is fantastic. Okay, so now if we go down to age 70, okay, because if you're in a situation where you don't have a ton of money and you're able to do this strategy, well, you know what? You just may need to wait another 5 years before you can actually say, hey, you know what? I'm ready to retire. Okay. But look at this. At the age of 70, if you just left this in for another 5 years, you would get close to half a million. Okay. Just think of that, half a million. Okay. Now, the great thing about this is that now at this point, you just start pulling out that interest every single year. So, and now you just stop it. Don't let it compound. Okay. That's $23,000 that you get access to. That's $2,000 a month that you can live off of. Okay. Now, for some people, that's not enough as itself to retire, but think of it as just one of the streams of income that you can have at that retirement age. Okay. So, I love doing calculations like this because it shows the possibility of what you can do if you just get in. Okay, just start today, no matter what. Okay, doesn't matter about your age, how much you're starting with, just get into the market. Okay. Second thing is you have to let it compound, whether it's 5%, 10%, 5 years, 10 years, you just got to let it compound. Okay. And then whenever possible, add in extra money every single year. So in this case, we're saying $1,000 every single year. Okay. And so it's highly recommended that you can add in as much as you can every single year. Okay, so now let's just say you're adding in your 50,000. Now, instead of doing 5%, we're actually going to compound this at 7.5. Okay, and it's absolutely very realistic to get 7.5, 10% a year. Okay, now if you don't know how to get 7.5 to 10% a year, this is where reaching out to me would really make sense. Okay, so now let's just say, okay, so at 7.5%, you're going to let this compound. Okay, look at how this goes up. We are at $1 million by the age of 70. That's massive. Okay, just let that sit in and soak in there. Now, let's just say you're older than 30 years old. So let's just say you're 40 years old. Okay, so we're going to go to 40 and we're going to put in our 50,000 in. We're going to compound this at 7.5%. Let's just see where this now takes us. Okay, look at that. It didn't really make a huge difference. You're still over that $1 million. Okay, so which also shows the importance of just getting in, right? That extra 10 years, it doesn't really make a difference, right? Just get in. Okay, so now let's just say you're able to save $2,000 a year. So $2,000 a year. So in the whole scheme of things, 2,000, let's just say divided by 12, that's about $166 a month. Okay, if you can save $166 a month every single month for a year, and that's what you're putting in extra. Okay, let's see how that math works. Okay, so you're 40 years old, you're going to be compounding this at 7.5, and you're putting in $2,000 a year. Okay, let's go down here. You're at 1.4. Okay, so what this tells me is, hey, you know what? You don't need to stress out about doing 2,000 or 1,000. Just get some extra money in there because you're already at that 1 million. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so now let's see here. So now if you are at this and you've got the 1.3 million in there, look at that. You're making $100,000 a year. Okay. You're pocketing $8,000 a month. Okay. For a lot of people, that's a ton of money to live off of. Okay. So that is what I've got for you today. Okay. A simple short calculation to show you that really just get in, figure out how to get in at a really good rate. Okay, what else can I give you here besides that? That's it. Okay, I am completely drawing a blank on what else to share with you because really it's just these three things. Get in, let it compound, and add in some extra cash if you can every single year. Okay, my name is Hung Lu. I am with Cash Property Inc. and I welcome comments and feedback on these videos. Please give me a like or a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so very much for tuning in and have a wonderful week, everybody.